Hey, hello, folks. Welcome to Pro Trader Strategies. My name is Eric Wilkinson, and this is Spotting the Trade. Basically, we're going to get you what you need to know before you go. And I'm going to talk about economic data, geopolitical environment, how that's impacting markets with some market analysis. And then we'll talk about some option strategies we can implement into our portfolios. So without further ado, let's get on with the economic data, see what's going on with the geopolitical environment, and then talk about the markets. Geopolitical. All right, we've talked about this. This is overarching than any economic data that we're going to be getting today. We do get core durable goods orders and PCE, which is personal consumption expenditures. That's going to be an inflationary gauge for us as the consumer. Durable goods orders is going to be another good economic data point to look at, and personal income and spending. Another thing we're going to be looking at throughout the day is watching President Lagarde speak. He is the ECB president. I'm sure he's going to be talking about China and the Ukraine. Another thing with that, Putin and China had a little bit of chat last night, I guess, and what came about from that was Putin said that he would have high-level negotiations with the Ukraine. What does that mean, high-level negotiations? Well, in a place where you're trying to invade somebody, those high-level negotiations really come down to the fact that, hey, if you relent, we will have a chat. But if you guys want to hold up and try and defend yourselves, it's probably not going to go very well. That's the way I see this conversation going. And I think that China is behind them on this because China really kind of wants to take the limelight off of them. Because remember, they're on the border of Taiwan right now, and Taiwan Semiconductor is one of the biggest producers of these chips that we're all looking for. That is a big issue. We've already been out to Taiwan down here in Arizona. We talked about that. The big joke out there is hopefully they can finish this plant in Arizona before China invades Taiwan. And I don't know if that's going to actually hold off long enough because that building is not ready to be done probably till 2026. All right. With that said, let's get on with the markets, start talking about them. We can see right here, E-mini S&Ps are making a massive comeback after yesterday's sell-off. We saw this big, huge turnaround where we were seeing the Dow Jones down like 700 points, almost coming back into positive territory. NASDAQ getting into positive territory. E-mini S&Ps got into positive territory after those big sell-offs. Now, normally what I would be talking about here, folks, is that we found a bottom here and that the bears have relented. That sign of strength from the bulls yesterday usually is a big sign of a turnaround. I would not hold these candles for what they were worth today. Think about this. We have this tension on the border of Taiwan for one, but I think that one's a little bit secondary. Then we have the Ukraine, which is the major story here. Who wants to hold equities going into this weekend? Probably not too many folks. So with that said, the big turnaround yesterday and the bears relenting could have been just reloading for today to start selling. So I would not take the downside out of the realm of possibility here today. We could really see a snap turnaround as people start selling going into the close. I think a lot of big major players will probably lighten their positions heading into this weekend. So be careful and be aware of that ahead of time, because I think that the selling pressure has not necessarily relented. As a matter of fact, hey folks, it's time to go chat with you. So anyway, this is going to be a bit of an issue, I'm sure, as this wants to try and talk to me here in a minute. So yeah, there we go. And there we go.
Right now in Scottsdale, it's 39 degrees and clear. Today, it'll be
and I don't know how to stop her.
With a forecasted high of 60 and a low of 39.
Russia has invaded Ukraine.
Russia's invaded Ukraine, everybody. We all know that. Sorry about the, I really just don't know how to work this phone. There. Sorry, folks. That's live for you. All right, so let's talk about the markets here some more. We have had that massive turnaround that we talked about yesterday. It was almost right off the open as folks started buying into the close. Now, are we going to see that weakness today? I would be a little bit more concerned about the downside here. Yeah, we did basically engulf previous day's candle here on the on the NASDAQ. But the fact of the matter is I think that the overarching theme and volatility in the market could really erase those types of candles there. Crude oil, wow, we blew off the top yesterday, making $100 barrel print. And are we done here? I don't think so. It feels like we're still marching to the upside. Today is going to be, and this weekend, going to be something that really is the determining factor. There we got wheat still showing up, and bonds confirmation of a top here. Again, I would be very leery of any of these candles today. I would wait for a confirmation either direction before I started really putting on long-term positions. Today might be the best day to sit on your hands, kind of gather information and retool and die for next week there. Gold futures, I would expect continuing to the upside is the risk there. Bitcoin finally making a bottom. Are we going to see that market start to make a move to the upside? And a lot of stocks made those big turnarounds. Again, I would be a little weary of something like Disney or any of these other stocks for the reopening, because I think that folks might not necessarily start traveling, at least overseas, as we start to open up here, especially if there's tensions across the pond there in Europe and everywhere else. And that's about all I got for you guys. I'm going to sit in my hands. I'm not going to give any directional moves on individual stocks as of right now. We're going to have to wait and see what happens this weekend. But waiting for these setup candles to be confirmed today is really the game plan. I would wait for any, or be weary of any looks that are going to be negative pressure, especially towards the end of the day, as we could see some heavy selling pressure as folks are hedging up and lightening their portfolios going into the weekend, probably putting something like that to work in gold. All right, look for those kind of moves to happen. Make sure you guys smash that like button for me before you go, and hit the subscribe button, the little bell. I'm not always consistent on when I show up for these spot the trades, so please make sure you guys have that notification so that you guys can find out when I'm unannounced. All right, so if you can't take that, take it easy.